going to be conducting a personality test. I'll be asking you a series of questions or saying a series of statements, and I would like you to reply with a number between 1 and 5. If you say 5, that means that you strongly agree with the question or statement, and if you say 1, that means that you strongly disagree with the question or statement, and the number 3 will be a neutral response. For the best results, try not to give too many neutral responses, and also try not to think too long when I ask you the question. Just give your reply as quick as possible. That sort of thing will give you the best results. So I'll be taking notes, of course, during this personality test. Let's begin. Question number 1, or statement number 1. You regularly make new friends. So, do you strongly agree or strongly disagree with this statement? You regularly make new friends. Okay, next question. You spend a lot of your free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. Okay. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. Okay. You often make a backup plan for a backup plan. Okay. Of course, as well, do remember there are no wrong answers with this. It's just an individual thing. On to the next question. You usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. Okay. At social events, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people, and you mostly talk to the ones that you already know. Okay. You prefer to completely finish one project before starting another. Okay. You are very sentimental. Okay. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. Okay. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. Okay. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Okay. You are not too interested in discussing various interpretations and analysis of creative works. Okay. You are more inclined to follow your head than your heart. Okay. You usually prefer just doing what you feel like at any given moment instead of planning a particular daily routine. Okay, we'll move on to the next set of questions. Here we go. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. You enjoy participating in group activities. You like books and movies that make you come up with your own interpretation of the ending. Good. Your happiness comes more from helping others accomplish things than your own accomplishments. You are interested in so many things that you find it difficult to choose what to try next. You are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. You avoid leadership roles in group settings. You are definitely not an artistic type of person. You think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings. You prefer doing things at the last possible moment. You have always been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. You become bored or lose interest when a discussion gets highly theoretical. You find it easy to empathize with a person whose experiences are very different from your own. You usually postpone finalizing decisions for as long as possible. You rarely second guess the choices that you have made. After a long, exhausting week, a lively social event is just what you need. You enjoy going to art museums. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. You like to have a to-do list for each day. You rarely feel insecure. You avoid making phone calls. You often spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are very different from your own. In your social circle, you are often the one who contacts your friends and initiates activities. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. You are still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. You rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. Your emotions control you more than you control your emotions. You take great care not to make people look bad, even when it is completely their fault. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent effort. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. You feel more drawn to places with busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate places. You know at first glance how someone is feeling. You often feel overwhelmed. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. You are very intrigued by things labelled as controversial. You would pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more. You struggle with deadlines. you feel confident that things will work out for you? There we go. That's actually all the questions that I needed to ask you today. I'll be taking the answers that you've given me and constructing for you a personality profile. I'll write out a short report for you as well regarding things like your career, things you may be good at, strengths and weaknesses in careers. Also, we will be taking a look at your relationships, both romantic and friendship wise. I'll be sending that report to you via email. So I do believe I have everything I need today to complete that. You should expect the report to be with you within 3 to 5 days. Is that okay? Do you have any questions for me today? No? Okay, thank you. Hope you've had a pleasant experience and enjoyed the questions. Excellent, thank you. Thank you for coming today. Take care. Have a good day. Bye. Hi there. Today I'm going to be asking you a series of important personal questions, and this is just to help you think about your life essentially, and reevaluating where you might be in your life at the moment, whether you're happy with how things are or whether perhaps you might want to take some action to improve your life, or even just to change the course of your life to something new and more interesting. Okay, so I'll take notes throughout this, just for my own personal use, perhaps to help you better in the future. And I do believe we'll jump right into the exercise. So, question number 1. Am I using my time wisely? These questions are obviously directed to you, so are you using your time wisely? Next question for you. Are you taking anything for granted? Next question for you. Are you employing a healthy perspective? So, is your perspective on life a healthy perspective on life, or perhaps is it too negative? Are you living true to yourself? Interesting, thank you. Next question. Are you waking up in the morning ready to take on the day? Okay. Next question. Are you thinking negative thoughts before you fall asleep? Yeah, you can talk to me about whatever you typically think about before you fall asleep, if that's what you'd like, yeah. Okay, thank you. Next question. Are you putting enough effort into your relationships? Whatever relationships those might be. It could be friendships, familial relationships, or it could be a romantic relationship. Am I taking care of myself physically? Again, a question for you. Are you taking care of yourself physically? Okay. Why do you think that might be? Okay. Next question for you. Are you letting matters that are out of your control stress you out? This is the last big question now before we move on to a rapid fire exercise. So the final question for you, are you achieving the goals that you've set for yourself? And again, why do you think that might be? Okay, excellent. Thank you very much for giving me such detailed answers to those questions. Now for the rapid fire portion of today's exercise. I'm going to be saying the beginning of a phrase of a sentence, and I'd like you to finish the sentence for me, please, how you best think it applies to you. Okay, so we'll give it a try with the first one now. First sentence is, I do my best when, and then you complete the sentence. Okay, so I do my best when. Very good. Next one. I struggle when. Very good. Next one. I am comfortable when. stress when I am courageous when one of the most important things I learned was I missed a great opportunity when one of my favorite memories is next, my toughest decisions involve being myself is hard because I can be myself when I wish I were more I wish I could I wish I would regularly I wish I had I wish I knew I wish I felt I wish I saw I wish I thought life should be about I am going to make my life about there we go. I do believe that is all the questions and all the exercises for today. Thank you very much for participating. Thank you for giving me so many thorough answers. I'm going to give this to you and then you can take it away and you can read over it and perhaps think about your life as we mentioned at the beginning. Maybe you're already happy with life, in which case that's absolutely fantastic. Or maybe there are a few areas of your life that you would like to improve, or maybe you would just like to take your life to a new place to experience new things. Yeah, is there anything that I can do for you before you leave today? No, everything's okay. Yeah, well, hope you had a good time. Hope you find it relaxing and insightful. Nice one. Thank you. Take care. Take care. Goodbye. Bye. Hi there. Today we are going to be doing an Enneagram personality test. This test will consist of over 100 questions, but they are very quick, short, snappy. They're more remarks than actual questions, and I'm going to ask whether you strongly agree, strongly disagree, or you feel neutral about each of the questions or remarks. based on your answers to these questions today, you will be given one strong archetype that sort of defines you and defines your strengths and weaknesses, your behaviors and the way you think. You may also have like a secondary or even a tertiary archetype, something that you are strong in that might complement your number one key archetype. But without further ado, I'm going to be asking you the questions now, and as I already mentioned, if you can just say strongly agree or strongly disagree or neutral, please. Okay, first question. I strive for perfection. Do you strongly agree or strongly disagree that you strive for perfection? I work hard to be helpful to others. It is important to me that other people like me. It is important to me to achieve great things. I make more significant contributions than the average person. I feel my emotions very deeply. I sense that other people will never truly understand me. I think deeply about things. I am prepared for any disaster. It is important to me to avoid pain and suffering at all times. I seek out experiences that I know will make me feel happy or excited. I see the positive in every situation. I am not afraid to tell someone when I think they are wrong. I let other people make the decisions. Okay, very good so far, good start. On to the next set of questions now. I appreciate having rules that people are expected to follow. I am concerned about security more than anything else. I think a lot about what will happen in the future. I don't fit in with ordinary people. There is rarely a good reason for changing how things are done. I always finish my chores. I am always trying to be a better person. I check carefully for mistakes and errors. I like to be around people who I can help. I like to feel that I am an important person in my social groups. It is important to me to be successful. The organizations I belong to would not function well without me. I often feel overtaken by my emotions. I have always felt different from other people. I like to analyze things from every angle. I always have a plan for what I would do if things go wrong. I avoid situations that bring up negative feelings. excitement. I am good at seeing the bright side of things when others complain. I do not hesitate to call people out when they are behaving badly. I go along with what other people want. People should follow the rules instead of doing what they feel like doing. I seek out relationships that offer me some type of protection. I can clearly visualize what could happen in the future. Average people often find me a bit weird. I like to do things as I've always done them. I persist until a task is done. I spend time trying to discover and correct my faults and weaknesses. I hold myself to very high standards. I am a natural caretaker. I want people to admire me. I want to achieve a lot in my life. If I am honest, I feel that I am better than other people. I feel a deep sense of grief for what I have lost. I am an unusual sort of person. I take time to understand things more deeply than most people do. It is important to me to be prepared for any emergency. I distract myself from any sad feelings that arise. I often make changes in my life when things get boring. I tend to be more optimistic than most people. I tell people what I think, even if it is hard to hear. I would rather follow the group than push for what I want. I feel most comfortable in organizations with a clear hierarchy. I take measures to protect myself and my loved ones from harm. I make plans for many years into the future. I am an unusually unique person. I dislike trying new methods or procedures. I focus on my responsibilities and duties. I read books that help me to be more productive or better at what I do. I put a lot of pressure on myself to do things right. I take the initiative to help other people and to make their lives better. effort to make a good impression on other people. I set ambitious goals for myself. I am an important member of my social groups. I can describe my emotions in a lot of depth and detail. I often feel like an outsider. I find my mind to be a very interesting place. I am always aware of what can go wrong in any situation. I have many ways of avoiding situations that get me down. I am always up for a new adventure. I believe that things usually work out for the best. I stand up for what I believe in, even if it upsets other people. I let other people take the lead. I dislike people who disrupt things by breaking the rules. I make alliances with people who can help me stay safe and secure. I am often looking ahead toward what is coming next. I have different interests than most people. The traditional way of doing things is the best way. Okay, doing very well so far. I am a responsible and reliable person. I have a lot of plans for how I can improve myself. I make sure that even small details are correct. I enjoy caring for others and their needs. I want to be a person others can look up to. I push myself to succeed. I make important contributions to my community. I rarely have strong emotions. I feel I never truly belong in social groups. I want to learn as much as I can about how the world works. It is important to me to understand what can go wrong in a situation. I take steps to ensure that I don't feel sad or lonely. Trying new things keeps life interesting. I am an upbeat person. I am usually the one to take a stand when others won't. Other people have stronger opinions than I do. Everyone has a role to play in society and a duty to do their best. believe we are very close to the end of this. Thank you for your patience and dedication during these questions. I know there's quite a few. Okay, the last few questions then. I am concerned with protecting what I have. I have a good sense of what my future holds. I am an average person with ordinary likes and dislikes. I try new ways of doing things just to see if they will work. I have a great deal of willpower. Self-improvement is a major interest of mine. There we go. I do believe that is actually the final question. So we have completed all, I believe, 106 questions. Thank you very much for being so quick with your response to each and every question. That is a good sign. It's good to just give the thing that initially bounces off your mind straight away without second guessing yourself. Generally you'll get better, more reliable results that way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these results away with me and I'm going to type them up into a computer. We're going to file a report based on your results, and then I will email that report over to you when I get a chance. Should be no more than 3 to 5 days, so nothing to worry about there. The report will show you how you scored in terms of a percentage in regards to all 9 personality types, and obviously your strongest personality type, that will be your main archetype that we delve into in the report, and we will look at the strengths and weaknesses of that particular personality type. We will also then look at your second and tertiary personalities. If you scored highly in a second and third personality type, it may be that you have a very high percentage in just one personality type, and then all the others are about the same. But if you have one strong and then a second really strong one, or perhaps even a third really strong one, we will look into all of them and how they relate to each other and how they relate to you. Does that sound good? Yeah? Yeah, brilliant, yeah. Any questions you may have for me? No? Brilliant. Okay. Thank you very much for coming today. Thank you for answering the questions so well. Thank you. Thanks very much. Take care. Take care. Have a good night. Night. Bye. Hello there. Welcome to the office today. Today we're going to be carrying out something called an emotional intelligence test. We usually abbreviate this to EQ, similar to IQ. You're probably more likely to have heard of IQ. That's just a general intelligence test, whereas this is more in regards to your emotional intelligence, how you look after yourself emotionally, how you handle your emotions, and how they affect your day-to-day life thoughts and actions. So today I've got a short series of questions. I'll be asking them and giving you a bit of time for each question just to think about it, to think about how you would truly respond and feel to each of these questions. These questions are actually more of a statement, and I want you to just think about the statement in your mind, whether they apply to you or whether they do not apply to you. If they do not apply to you, I would like you to tell me strongly disagree. And if they do apply to you, I would like you to tell me strongly agree. You can, of course, give me a neutral response, but it's better to say strongly agree or strongly disagree, just so that we get a better understanding of how you think and feel, even if there's only a slight tendency towards the one or the other. It's better to go with that, as it will give a more accurate representation of you, of yourself. So I'm going to begin now, if I may, with the first statement. The first statement is, I do not become defensive when criticized. So I'll just give you a few moments to think about that statement, and then I'll write up a few notes and your answer, of course. So, I do not become defensive when criticized. I do not become defensive when criticized. You can, of course, tell me your thought process as well. That might actually help me out, yeah? Okay, yeah, that's very good. Yeah, it's useful for me to hear particular situations that you think it may apply to you in, and particular situations that you think it may not apply to you in. But even with those in mind, I would still like you to give me, please, just a general rating. Strongly agree, strongly disagree. So, I do not become defensive when criticized. Yeah, okay. Excellent. The next statement is, I stay calm under pressure. I stay calm under pressure. I stay calm under pressure. Okay, yeah. And so your overall rating for that one will be... Okay. Brilliant, thank you. Our next statement is, I handle setback effectively. I handle setbacks effectively. I handle setbacks effectively. Okay. Yeah, it's a good idea to think of examples actually that you've recently gone through. It might help you to reach an answer as well. So, I handle setbacks effectively. How do you think you feel about that? Do you strongly agree or strongly disagree? Okay, we'll move on to the next one. The next one is, I manage anxiety, stress, anger, and fear in pursuit of a goal. I manage anxiety, stress, anger, and fear in pursuit of a goal. Yeah, there's quite a lot to think about there, isn't there? So you've got to think about all of them. I manage anxiety, stress, anger, and fear in pursuit of a goal. Yeah, okay. Very good, yeah. Okay. So the next one we have is, I utilize criticism and other feedback for growth. I utilize criticism and other feedback for growth. I utilize criticism and other feedback for growth. Yeah. Okay, that sounds great. Nice one, thank you. The next one is very short and and simple. I am positive. I am positive. I am positive. Okay, that's great. The next one is I maintain a sense of humor. I maintain a sense of humor. I maintain a sense of humor. Yeah, that sounds good, yeah. Okay, that's a good, yeah. Next one is I try to see things from another's perspective. I try to see things from another's perspective. I try to see things from another's perspective. Okay, that's great, thank you. On to our next one. I recognize how my behavior affects others. I recognize how my behavior affects others. Okay, that's great, thank you. And now we're on to I air grievances skillfully. I air grievances skillfully. I air grievances skillfully. Yeah, exactly, yeah. On to the next one. I can listen without jumping to judgment. I can listen without jumping to judgment. I can listen without jumping to judgment. Yeah. Okay, that's great, thank you. And now we are on our final statement actually. I can freely admit to making a mistake. I can freely admit to making a mistake. I can freely admit to making a mistake. Okay, excellent. I do believe that is all the questions I have here for you today. Thank you so much for answering them all so positively. And you've given me a lot of extra notes to look through and read through. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to type up your answers to this, since there are only 12 questions. I believe there are 12, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. Since there are only 12 questions, I can type these up very quickly, and then our computer will quickly cycle through them in the algorithm, and it will bring up your results, the results of your emotional intelligence, your EQ. So I'll just type those up now if that's okay. So what I've got now from the computer is a very brief report on your results, and it says here that you have good emotional balance. This is based on all the answers you just gave. It's telling me that EQ can be just as important or even more important than IQ when it comes to success in life. Since you have a good EQ, you will likely be a high performer under pressure and in stressful situations. Some areas for you to work on perhaps. While you're doing well, don't forget to take a break sometimes. Take a step back and to view the bigger picture. It's important to think of your long-term goal, where you want to get in life, and how you can take actions to reach that goal. So, that is obviously a very brief report. I'm going to be typing up a much larger report and sending that to you via email. That will be me looking into all the extra information that you gave me during this test. So I think I have everything that I need here. You can expect the report to be sent to you in 3 to 5 days. And I just want to thank you for doing such a brilliant job and providing me with so much information today. Thank you very much for coming today. Any questions for me before you leave today? No? Okay, that's excellent. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Take care. Have a good day. Bye. Bye. Hi there. Come on in. Make yourself nice and comfortable. My name is Dr. Jones. My first name is Ross. You can call me whichever you'd like, whichever you're more comfortable with. And that is basically what I want today's session to be. I want it to be nice and comfortable, nice and relaxed, nice and easy going for you. Okay, so today's session is just an assessment session. It's going to be quite short. I'm going to be asking you a series of questions, and you can take as long as you want to answer each question, or as little as you want to answer each question. I'll be taking notes throughout. That is just for my personal use in future sessions, etc., etc. Everything that you tell me today is going to be 100% confidential, of course, just between you and I. Anything you say in this room will stay in this room, essentially, so you have nothing to worry about there. Also, if I ask you a question and you don't want to answer it, you're more than welcome to do that, of course. Please let me know that you aren't comfortable answering that question, but I may push you ever so slightly to answer a question if I think it will be particularly important in your recovery and in your treatment. But obviously you have the final say on absolutely everything. If you do not want to answer a question, you do not have to, of course. It's all down to you here today, so there's no need to worry about that either. So to begin with, I'll be asking you very basic questions, such as, how are you feeling about being here today? Yeah, of course, that's understandable, yeah. Yeah, of course. Okay, and can I just quickly ask you, have you ever done anything like this before? Had a therapy session or visited a psychiatrist? Okay, that's good to know, thank you. So the focus of our first appointment today of our assessment is just going to be looking at yourself, me trying to get to know you a little bit better, and trying to get to know what problems or what situations may have brought you to me today, and what things you may be struggling with or suffering with. Okay. And once I've identified that, then we can talk about treatment for how to help you feel better and how to help you cope with any triggering situations or people that you may encounter in the future. Before we start, would you like to ask me any questions? problem, of course. I'll start with a very broad question. Can you tell me, please, the symptoms and the feelings you've been experiencing that has brought you to me today? Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you for telling me all that. Thank you for being so open, of course. So, do you find that there are particular situations or particular people that make those feelings worse? Okay, yeah. Okay. And then the opposite question, is there anything that makes those feelings better? Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Okay, so that obviously means a lot to you. Yeah. So that's great. We can definitely use those in the future. So, is there anything you may have tried, any techniques or any substances that you've taken or tried to use to make the feelings better, to make yourself feel better? Yeah, of course. Obviously, remember, everything is confidential, no judgment, so you can tell me absolutely anything and everything. Yeah. Yeah, okay, no problem. It's quite a common response to these extreme situations, yeah. How often would you do that? Okay, that's something to look at. Okay, so let's talk about your family now, if we may, just to help me get a better understanding of you and your situation. Can you tell me, please, first of all, about your mother? What is she like as a person, and what is your relationship with her like? Yeah, this is great. This is great to hear, yeah. Yeah, of course, you tell me absolutely anything and everything that you want. Anything might be relevant, you know. Yeah. Okay, so we may look deeper into these sort of experiences and issues in future sessions. Does your mother know that you're here today? And how does she feel about you being here today? Has she expressed? Okay. Okay, and now same questions essentially, just about your father instead. What is your dad like? What is your relationship with your dad like? Has he ever talked about his feelings about you going to therapy? Okay, yeah, no problem. No problem. Okay, any brothers or sisters that I should know about? Do you have a partner? Romantic partner? Okay, and what is your relationship with them like? How long have you been seeing each other? How close are you? Do you feel like you could open up about these particular issues to them? What are your friendships like? Do you have many friends? Do you have very close friends, perhaps one or two that you would speak to more in depth about issues like these? And how often are you able to see them and talk to them about things like this? This is a lot of information actually for me to look at and process. Is there any other information that you may like to give me before we end our assessment session today? Is there anything you think is important for me to know? Anything that might affect yourself or your treatment in the future? That's great to know. Okay, thank you. There we go. So I do believe I collected enough information to begin with. So there's typically two phases to therapy. The first phase being initially just to help you to feel better, to alleviate the symptoms that you may be having. And then the second phase is a more permanent solution, looking at how to help you cope with situations and people that initially triggered these sort of symptoms and feelings, you know. So we might look at prescription drugs, prescription medicine for you. We may look at CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, or perhaps some other more experimental forms of therapy. Anything that may suit your particular wants, needs, and the situation. But I'm going to be looking at all the options available to us, looking over the information you've given me, and we'll meet again next week, and then we'll discuss them, and we'll go from there. Obviously, we won't do anything without your consent and without you wanting to do it. Okay? Okay. So, before you leave, are there any questions that you might have for me? Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I can look into those particular issues and that area of your life more more in depth in next week's session. So you think this is going to be very important and integral to your recovery? Yeah. Yeah, of course. Anything that holds weight or importance with you is obviously going to be very integral to future therapy sessions and getting better. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for being so open today. You've done absolutely excellently well. Yeah. It's been a good session for me. I hope it's been a good session for you too. Brilliant, yeah. If you ever want to do things a little bit differently, if there's something I do that you don't like, for example, please don't hesitate to speak up and mention it, and I'll see what I can do. Perhaps I can do things a little bit differently just to make you a little bit more comfortable, to make the session a little bit better for you. Okay, so yeah, I do believe I've done everything, and I'll see you again next week. Is that okay? Yeah, brilliant. Okay, thank you very much. See you next week. Take care. Bye. Hi there, and welcome to today's video. A nice fun session today. We're just going to be looking at would you rather questions. Some of them a bit fun, some of them a bit weird. We'll see how they go. Okay, so we'll jump right into it, and as usual I'm going to be writing down your answers, so they better be good answers, better be good choices. Okay, question number 1. Would you rather the aliens that make first contact with us be robotic or organic? Would you rather lose the ability to read or lose the ability to speak? Would you rather have a golden voice or a silver tongue? Would you rather be covered in fur or covered in scales? Would you rather be in jail for a year or lose a year of your life? Would you rather always be 10 minutes late or always be 20 minutes early? Would you rather have one real get out of jail free card or a key that opens any door? Would you rather know the history of every object you touched or be able to talk to animals? Would you rather be married to a 10 with a bad personality or a 6 with an never have to stand in line again? Would you rather spend the rest of your life with a sailboat as your home or an RV as your home? Would you rather give up all drinks except for water, or give up eating anything that was cooked in an oven? Would you rather be able to see 10 minutes into your own future, or 10 minutes into the future of anyone but yourself? Would you rather have an easy job working for someone else, or work for yourself but work incredibly hard? Would you rather be the first person to explore a planet, or be the inventor of a drug that cures a deadly disease? Would you rather go back to age 5 with everything you know now, or know everything your future self will learn? Would you rather be able to control animals, but not humans, with your mind, or control electronics with your mind? Would you rather have unlimited international first-class tickets, or never have to pay for food at restaurants? Would you rather see what was behind every closed door, or be able to guess the combination of every lock on the first try? Would you rather be an average person in the present, or a king of a large country 2,500 years ago? Would you rather be able to dodge anything no matter how fast it's moving, or be able to ask any 3 questions and have them answered accurately? Would you rather be forced to dance every time you heard music, or be forced to sing along to any song you heard? Would you rather have all your clothes fit perfectly, or have the most comfortable pillow, blankets and sheets in existence? Would you rather 5% of the population have telepathy, or 5% of the population have telekinesis? You are not part of the 5% of either you choose, though. Would you rather be an unimportant character in the last movie you saw, or an unimportant character in the last book you read? Would you rather move to a new city or town every week, or never be able to leave the city or town you were born in? Would you rather be completely insane and know that you are insane, or completely insane and believe you are sane? Would you rather travel the world for a year on a shoestring budget, or stay in only one country for a year but live in luxury? Would you rather suddenly be elected a senator, or suddenly become a CEO of a major company? You won't have any more knowledge about how to do either job than you do right now. Would you rather live in virtual reality where you are all powerful, or live in the real world and be able to go anywhere but not be able to interact with anyone or anything? Would you rather Would you rather be only able to watch the few movies with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 95 to 100%, or only be able to watch the majority of movies with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 94% and lower? Would you rather wake up as a new random person every year and have full control of them for the whole year, or once a week spend a day inside a stranger without having any control of them? Would you rather know how above or below average you are at everything, or know how above or below average people are at one skill or talent just by looking at them? This is actually the final Would You Rather question for today. Would you rather live until you are 200 but look like you are 200 the whole time, even though you are healthy? Or would you rather look like you are 25 all the way until you die at age 65? Okay guys, thank you very much for answering those Would You Rather questions for me today. Got a lot of good information here, a lot of good answers. I hope you had fun thinking about all the questions and thinking about your answers. Hope you found it nice and relaxing. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful sleep tonight. Thank you very much guys. Take care. Have a good one. Bye. Hi there, and welcome to today's video. We will be looking at personal questions. I'm going to be asking you a large number of personal questions, and I would like you to answer, please, and then I will record your answers, if that's okay with you. Yeah? Okay, so we'll jump right into it. Question number 1. What weird food combinations do you really enjoy? What social stigma does society need to get over? What food have you never eaten but you'd really like to try? What is something you really resent paying for? What would a world populated by clones of yourself be like? What are you currently worried about? Where are some unusual places that you've been? Where do you get your news? What are some red flags to watch out for in daily life? What movie can you watch over and over without ever getting bored of? When you are old, what do you think children will ask you to tell stories about? If you could switch to movie characters, what switch would lead to the most inappropriate movies? What inanimate object would be the most annoying if it played loud upbeat music while being used? When did something start out badly for you, but in the end it was great? How would your country change if everyone, regardless of age, could vote? What animal would be cutest if scaled down to the size of a cat? If your job gave you a surprise 3-day paid break to rest and recuperate, what would you do with those 3 days? What's wrong but sounds right? What's the most epic way you've seen someone quit or be fired. If you couldn't be convicted of any one type of crime, what criminal charge would you like to be immune to? What's something that will always be in fashion no matter how much time passes? What actors or actresses play the same character in almost every movie or show they do? In the past, people were buried with the items they would need in the afterlife. What would you want to be buried with so you could use it in the afterlife? What's the best or worst practical joke that you've played on someone or that someone has played on you? Who do you go out of your way to be nice to? Where do you get most of your decorations for your home? What food is delicious but a pain to eat? Who was your craziest or most interesting teacher? What old person things do you do? What was the last photo you took? What is the most amazing slow motion video you've ever seen? Which celebrity do you think is the most down to earth? What would be the worst thing to hear as you were going under anesthesia before heart surgery? What's the spiciest thing you've ever eaten? What's the most expensive thing you've broken? What obstacles would be included in the world's most amazing obstacle course? What makes you roll your eyes every time you hear it? What do you think you are much better at than you actually are? Should kidneys be able to be bought and sold? What's the most creative use of emojis you've ever seen? When was the last time you got to tell someone, "I told you so"? What riddles do you know? What's your cure for hiccups? What invention doesn't get a lot of love but has greatly improved the world? What's the most interesting building you've ever seen or been in? What mythical creature do you wish actually existed? What are your most important rules when going on a date? How do you judge a person? If someone narrated your life, who would you want to be the narrator? What was the most unsettling film seen. What unethical experiment would have the biggest positive impact on society as a whole? When was the last time you were snooping and found something you wish you hadn't? Which celebrity or band has the worst fan base? What are you interested in that most people aren't? And now for today's final question. If you were given a PhD degree but had no knowledge of the subject of the degree besides what you have now, what degree would you want to be given to you? Okay, thank you very much for answering all those questions. I believe there were over 55 questions in total in the end. I have a lot of data here for me to look through, go over, compile and add to my ongoing research. I want to thank you very much for being a part of that research and for helping me so much. Perhaps you can help me again in the future. Perhaps I could ask you some more questions similar to these in the future. Would you like that? Yeah, that would be absolutely great if I could see you again sometime. Okay, thank you for coming. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope you found it relaxing and fun. Take care. Have a good one. Goodbye. Bye. Hello there. My name is Dr. Jones, but you can call me Ross, of course. Welcome to the office. I hope you're nice and comfortable. Is there anything I can do for you before we start your personality test today? You're all okay? There we go, that's excellent. So, today's session is going to be nice and easy, nice and relaxing. It could even be quite fun and interesting for you. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you a series of statements. I believe we have 120 statements in all, quite a few, so I will go through them quite quickly. But as I say each statement, could you please give me one of 5 responses? Okay, so we have strongly agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. Okay, and if you can give your responses as quickly as possible. There is no time limit, of course. You are not under any pressure to rush, but the first answer that comes to your mind is generally the most accurate one. Also, if I could suggest that you give mostly strongly agree and strongly disagree answers, you will get the best results doing so. If you were to give me entirely neutral answers, for example, your results would not be very good at all. They wouldn't be very accurate course, and I do believe we'll simply jump right into it. Okay, so the first statement is, I am a worrier. So do you strongly agree or strongly disagree that you are a worrier? I make friends easily. I have a vivid imagination. I trust other people. I complete tasks successfully. I get angry easily. I really enjoy large parties and gatherings. I think art is important. I use and manipulate others to get my own way. I don't like things to be a mess. I like to tidy up. I often feel sad. I like to take charge of situations and events. I experience deep and varied emotions. I love to help others. I keep my promises. I find it difficult to approach others. I am always busy, always on the go. I prefer variety to routine. I love a good argument, a good fight. I work hard. I overindulge and go on binges. basically have good intentions. When I do something, I always do it well. I get irritated easily. I always chat to lots of different people at parties. I see beauty in things that others might not notice. I don't mind cheating to get ahead. I often forget to put things back in their proper place. I dislike myself. I try to be in charge and to lead others. I am empathetic. I feel others' emotions. I tell the truth. I am afraid to draw attention to myself. I never sit still. I am always on the go. I prefer to stick with things that I know. I shout and yell at people. I do more than what is expected of me. I rarely overindulge. I go out of my way to seek adventure. I avoid philosophical discussions. I think highly of myself. I get the job done and carry out my plans. I become overwhelmed by events. I have a lot of fun. I believe that there is no absolute right or wrong. I feel sympathy for those who are worse off than myself. I make rash decisions. I am afraid of many things. I avoid coming into contact with people if I can help it. I love to daydream. I trust what people say. I handle tasks methodically. I frequently lose my temper. I prefer I take advantage of others. I always leave the place in a mess. I am often down in the dumps. I take control of situations. I rarely notice my emotional reactions and feelings. I am indifferent to the feelings of others. I break rules. I only really feel comfortable with friends. I do a lot in my spare time. I dislike changes. I insult people. I do just enough work to get by. I easily resist temptations. I enjoy being reckless. I have difficulty understanding abstract ideas. I have a high opinion of myself. I waste my time. I feel that I am unable to deal with things. I love life. I tend to support political candidates who favor conventional and traditional views. I am not interested in other people's problems. I rush into things. I get stressed out easily. I keep others at a distance. I like to get lost in thought. I distrust people. I know how to get things done. I am not easily annoyed. I avoid crowds. I do not enjoy going to art galleries or exhibitions. I am uncooperative. I obstruct other people's plans. I leave my bits and pieces and belongings around. I feel comfortable with myself. I wait for others to take the lead. analysis. I am not bothered by difficult social situations. I like to take it easy. I am attached to conventional ways. I always even the score with others. I put little time and effort into my work. I am able to control my cravings. I act zany and outrageously. I am not interested in theoretical discussions. I boast about my virtues. I have difficulty starting tasks. I remain calm under pressure. I look at the bright side of life. I believe that we should be very tough on crime. I try not to think about the needy. I act without thinking. And there we go. That was actually the final question. All 120 questions answered. Thank you so much for sitting through that and for answering all the questions so well. I have some excellent data here to go away and analyze, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to write up a thorough report regarding your personality. I'll give you also a very brief summary and of course your personality type. Once I complete this, I will email the results to you so that you can read over them at your own leisure in your spare time, but also you can return to the office to talk to me and we can discuss aspects of your personality, such as what careers might be best suited to you, to a person with your personality type, how your relationships with others may turn out, and what sorts of people you might have the most successful relationships with. And we'll look at business relationships, platonic relationships, and of course romantic relationships. Of course, quite a large topic to discuss, and in our follow-up session you are welcome to ask me any and all questions that you might have. Okay, so is there anything else that I can do for you today before you leave? No? All okay? Yeah. Okay, so when I email you the results of this report, of this data today, I will also email you the date and time of our follow-up appointment. Okay, so I'll see you on that date and time, provided it's good for you. Okay, excellent. So take care. Thank you once again, and have a good night. Good night. Bye. Bye. Hi there. My name is Ross. Thank you for coming today. I am here on behalf of a benevolent company to ask you some questions today. I'm definitely not here to data farm, and my company is definitely not going to sell this information that we gather today on to other companies for millions and millions of pounds. But all of that aside, I am here today to ask you some this or that questions. They're going to be very brief, very fast, very rapid fire. Simply put, I ask you something like cardio or weights, and then you choose whichever is your favourite, cardio or weights. You can give me a very brief reason why you made that choice if you would like, but I must stress we do have a lot of these this or that questions to get through today. Okay, so I will be making a note of your answers, of course, for research purposes for my benevolent company. So without any further ado, question number 1. Vacation or staycation? Netflix or Hulu? Rich and famous or rich and unknown? Passenger or driver? Art museum or history museum? Car or bike? Train or airplane? Owe money or owe a favour? Coffee or tea? Be embarrassed or be afraid? City or countryside? Smartphone or tablet? Wine or beer? Camping or glamping? Glamorous camping, for those that may not know. Just yeah. Cooking or being cooked for? Play or stand-up show? So play like a theatre play, stand-up show like a comedy show. Roommates or live alone? Attend a party or host a party? Lose sleep or honest, I don't even know what drip coffee is. Hot coffee or iced coffee? Patterned or plain? Reality shows or documentaries? Red wine or white wine? Salad or sandwich? Start your assignments immediately or wait until the last minute. English or maths? Gym or art? Science or history? Group work or solo work? Art projects or science projects? Forget your pencil or forget a notebook? The teacher reads your text message aloud, or the teacher tells the whole class your grades? Drive to school or take the bus? A messy locker or a tidy locker? Pen or pencil? Multiple choice or essay? Physical planners or digital planners? Save as you go or save at the end? USB backup or cloud storage? Home schooling or classroom schooling? Field trips or field days. Win a race or win a debate. A spelling bee or a math bee. I'll be honest, I didn't even know that math bees were a thing. Homework or classwork. Big class or small class. Desks or tables. Recess or lunch. Poem or story. Recent history or ancient history. Chemistry or biology. Geometry or algebra. A football game or a basketball game. Cheerleader or mascot. Prom or homecoming. College or high school. Okay, looks like that concludes the section that was aimed towards school, college, and academic studies. We move on now to more general questions. Once again, like the beginning, dogs or cats? Big family or small family? Big wedding or small wedding? Messy or tidy? Planning or winging it? Arrive early or arrive late? A night out or a night in? Takeaway food or restaurant? Junk food or healthy food? Coffee date or a cocktail date? A concert or a sports game? A funny movie or a dramatic movie? looks or personality? Clean as you cook or clean up at the end? Call first thing in the morning or call in the middle of the night? Board games or video games? Photos or videos? Social media message or text message? Take a friend with you on your family vacation or join a friend on their family vacation? A group hangout or a one-on-one hangout? French fries or onion rings? Share food or don't share food? Give a ride or hitch a ride? PayPal or Venmo? Instagram or Twitter? Shopping online or shopping in store? Okay, that is actually the final question in my survey today. Thank you so much for answering all those questions. There were over 100 questions in total, and you did a magnificent job of answering all of them for me. Thank you for your patience today. Thank you for taking the survey, and thank you for being so pleasant to be around. Thank you. Hope you found it fun, relaxing, and interesting. And I hope you have a good night now. Good night. Take care. Hi there, my name is Ross, and today I'm going to be asking you some personal questions. I'm going to be recording your answers on this little clipboard here, and that is for my own statistical research purposes. But mostly I just want you to answer the questions honestly and, have a little bit of fun, and hopefully you find it relaxing and interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to jump right into it and ask you question number 1. When you do something positive or helpful to others, do you prefer private recognition or public praise? What are your choice to relive your life or to live a different life, which one would you choose? Have you got any regrets? Do you ever feel like some people would be better off without you in their life? Do you ever feel like you would have been a better person if you never met a certain someone in your life? Have you ever bullied someone or been bullied yourself? Do you resent the way you were raised? Do you hold any grudges against anyone? Are you more likely to avoid conflict or engage it head on? Do you prefer that people shoot straight with you or temper their words? So do you prefer someone to be brutally honest with you or to consider your feelings? If you could eliminate one weakness or limitation in your life, what would it be? How difficult is it for you to forgive someone who refuses to apologize? Do you hold any convictions that you would be willing to die for? You show up to your new job. How do you make friends? How have your friends influenced your personality? What small things make you happy? Where did you grow up and what was it like there? Do you have any siblings and what are they like? something that you know a lot about? Why do you think it is so hard to date these days? What was the most dangerous or the most challenging thing that you have ever done? Do you have a deep, dark secret? What do you keep under your bed? Have you ever won an award? Are you currently happy with your life? Who is your celebrity crush, guy and girl? Were you a good student in school? Which of your possessions could you not live without? When was the last time you cried, and why? What is the one thing that you feel like you can never outgrow? Do you think if you were more well-to-do, you'd say goodbye to the friends you have now? I think that means, do you think if you were rich, you would say goodbye to the friends you have now and like make better friends, richer friends, I suppose? If you die today, what will you be happy to have experienced? How often do you fake it? Do you ever feel pressured by your friends to fit in? What foundations need to be in place for a relationship to be successful? What are your healthy and unhealthy habits? How was your life growing up? Where do you find inspiration. What incident changed your life instantly? Why did you put an end to your last relationship? If I proved to you that you were dreaming right now, would you want to wake up? What is the dumbest thing you have ever believed? How do you want to retire? How do you manage your work and personal life? What is the perfect partner? What are your deal breakers? Do you want kids? What are the most annoying things that men do in relationships? What have you always wanted to try? Have you ever cheated on someone or helped someone else cheat? Okay, that was quite a lot of questions. I think 55 personal questions in total. Thank you so much for answering them all so honestly. I've got a lot of information here, and I'm going to be asking a lot of other people the same questions, and I'm basically just going to look at everybody's answers, compare them to see the similarities and the differences between people. Okay, so thank you so much for participating today, and perhaps I'll see you again in future studies where I will ask you more personal questions. Okay, have a good night. Thank you. Goodbye. Hi there, my name is Ross. Very good to see you today. I have today a list of personal questions to ask you, and I'm going to record your answers on my clipboard here. And yeah, I'm just going to be asking a lot of people these questions, recording their answers and comparing them for similarities and differences. Okay, so hopefully you find today's experience quite relaxing, quite interesting. It should only take about 20 minutes. Okay, so thank you very much. I'll jump right into it now. Question number 1. What are some buy it for life items that you own? workout routine and diet? What actions define a man? Would you rather get married, or is it too much of a hassle? If you get to name your kids, what would you name them? Is it okay to lie in a relationship? How do you stay organized? What instantly makes you angry? What was the best date you've ever been on? What public phenomenon do you find awkward? How do you behave around your work colleagues? How much do you want to achieve in your life? Have you ever experienced something you couldn't explain? What would you do with $1 million? is the first thing you do when you wake up? What is your favorite little-known place in your city? Where do you want a home to be when it's time to settle down? What roles should each person have in a romantic relationship? What was the best birthday of your life and why? How do you relax when you feel frustrated? How can I instantly put a smile on your face? What are the 3 most important things in your life? What's your favorite vacation spot? What was your first impression of me? Who inspires you the most? Which company would you want to work for at least once in your lifetime? What was your most successful relationship and why was it so successful? If you were appointed leader of the world, what changes would you make? What are your favorite flowers? What's the worst thing a person can do that isn't illegal? When was the last time you screamed at the top of your lungs? What is the worst thing that somebody has walked in on you doing? is the weirdest nickname that people call you? What's the most personal question you have ever answered? How difficult is it for you to be honest, even when your words may be hurtful or unpopular? In what area of your life are you immature? Would you say you are high maintenance or low maintenance? What is one guilty pleasure you enjoy too much to give up? When making an entrance into a party, do you make your presence known? How often do you doodle, and what do your doodles look like? When do you find yourself singing? Why do they say flattery won't get you anywhere? Why shouldn't we take life seriously? How do you make something idiot-proof? Who performs the most random acts of kindness out of everyone you know? What is something about life that people don't appreciate as much as they should? Do people have a right to be happy, or should they have to earn it? What is a year of life worth? How much per day? Okay, that's actually all the questions that I wanted to ask you today. So thank you so much for answering all of those, quite a few questions. I think 55 questions in total. I've got all your answers down here, and again I'm going to be doing this with a lot of other people to compare and contrast people's experiences with life and their opinions on things, so it should make for quite interesting results. I hope you had a good time today. Hope you enjoyed your experience with me and your time here.